So on Sunday morning, we took a look at Peter's realization that Jesus was the Messiah. That was the key factor that was lacking in the disciples' development. But we really didn't take time to look at what that meant. If you'll read with me again, Mark chapter 8, verse 27, Jesus and his disciples went on to the villages around Caesarea Philippi. On the way, he asked them, "Who do people say that I am?" They replied, "Some say you're John the Baptist, others say you're Elijah, and still others, one of the prophets." Now, this is an interesting question. It's where Jesus starts. Who do people say that I am? It's important to know who the people around us believe that Jesus is if we have any chance to reach them. Otherwise, there's just a mismatch from the very start. Now, in the first century, the people had three answers. You're John the Baptist, you're Elijah the prophet, or you're one of the prophets. These are actually one answer. If you will look with me at the very end of the Old Testament, in the book of Malachi, the last two verses of the Old Testament in our Bibles say this: "See, I will send you the prophet Elijah before the great and dreadful day of the Lord comes. He'll turn the hearts of the fathers to the children, the hearts of the children to their fathers, or else I'll come and strike the land with a curse." Malachi promises that Elijah the prophet will come and present the day of the Lord. Now, the day of the Lord is when the Messiah arrives. So Elijah is not the Messiah, but he comes to present the Messiah. Some say you're Elijah the prophet. It was important for John the Baptist to identify with Elijah precisely because of this. And so he dressed like Elijah did, in a hairy cloak and a leather belt. Some say you're John the Baptist. But there were those who said there is no resurrection of the dead, and so it's not Elijah the prophet that comes to present the Messiah. Instead, it's simply a great prophet. Some say you're one of the prophets. All three answers are actually the same. People say you're the one who will present the Messiah, but you're not the Messiah. Important to understand who people believe Jesus is. Now, the people in the first century rejected Jesus as the Messiah because he didn't fit their caricature of the Messiah. Instead, they believed he came to present the Messiah who would then fulfill their expectations. Today, Jesus may not be what we wish he would be. Sometimes not even what we think he would be. But he is the Son of God. He calls us to do difficult things, and sometimes those difficult things are hard to accept. Look at what Jesus wants you to do today. Accept that. Accept who Jesus is and obey. I look forward to sharing with you tomorrow the next phase